Ben Askren, the funky one, is making his UFC debut, finally. Please make it to the fucking event against the ruthless one, Robbie Lawler. I made a prediction about this months ago, because that's when I thought the fight was going to happen. It's been postponed heavily. It has been really postponed, but now the time is nigh. And Ben Askren will face off against Robbie Lawler this weekend at UFC 235. I'm going to get straight into the prediction and breakdown. A lot has changed since a few months ago. I picked Ben Askren to win a few months ago, and guess fucking what? I'm still fucking picking Ben Askren to win. Here's why. I gave Robbie Lawler more of a chance before, because Robbie Lawler, known to have good takedown defense. Obviously, he stuffed all takedowns from Rory McDonald. Johnny Hendricks tried keeping him down. He couldn't do it over 5 rounds. Robbie Lawler, known for his takedown defense. He hits fucking hard, and he is the ruthless one after all. However, I feel like when Robbie Lawler fought Rory McDonald the second time, I think there's only so many punches a human brain can take. And you saw that against Tyron Woodley. It isn't that Tyron Woodley hits harder than Rory McDonald's shin, because that's not true. Rory McDonald landed flying knees on Robbie Lawler's face, and Robbie Lawler was laughing. Tyron Woodley lands a right hand, and it knocks Robbie Lawler out. That's nothing to do with Tyron's power. I believe that's to do with Robbie Lawler's chin. Now, since that fight between Rory McDonald, Robbie Lawler has lost to Tyron Woodley by knockout, number 1. He beat Donald Cerrone by a majority decision, number 2. That's bad, in my opinion. For the number 1 welterweight in the world at the time in Robbie Lawler to go to a decision, and a close one at that, and lose rounds against Donald Cerrone, that's a bad sign, because you look at what Till did to Donald Cerrone, dismantled him in the first round. Jorge Masvidal did to Donald Cerrone, absolutely fucking, basically knocked him out twice in one night. You should be beating Donald Cerrone a bit better than that at welterweight. You're bigger than him. Do the fucking damn thing. Now, after that, he lost to Rafael Dos Anjos by a dominant 5-round decision. Look at what's happened to Rafael Dos Anjos. Usman dominated him. Colby Covington dominated him. The division has changed, Robbie Lawler, in your absence. And you've been out a very long time nursing an ACL injury, which is why I'm going with Ben Askren. I'm going with Ben Askren purely because I already thought he was going to beat Robbie Lawler, because I think he can easily take Robbie Lawler down. Ben Askren is known in the wrestling community as one of the best to ever do it. He's like the Anderson Silva of wrestling, but he's still reasonably young. And he hasn't taken any damage whatsoever. I mean, I think he hasn't been punched in his last 3 fights. So, that's a fucking positive, I guess. Brain damage free for Ben Askren. Elite level wrestling. Robbie Lawler coming off an ACL surgery. Think about that. How much hard wrestling are you going to be able to do in training camp coming off of an ACL surgery? I do not doubt that Robbie Lawler has the supreme advantage on the feet when it comes to him and Ben Askren. I just don't see the same Robbie Lawler anymore. I see a Robbie Lawler, maybe it's his time to go. I just picked my nose. You watched that happen. I tried to get away with it, forgetting I'm on camera right now. I don't see the same Robbie Lawler recently. I really don't. I don't see the ruthless one. Maybe he comes out against Ben Askren and I'm proved wrong. But I feel like when you've got a torn ACL and you're recovering from that surgery and you're going into a fight against one of the best grapplers, arguably, in the welterweight division, I mean, you're talking about the guy who is brought in to train Tyron Woodley in wrestling. So he has to be better than Woodley. I mean, he's the best wrestler in the division. And he's going in against Robbie Lawler, and with an ACL that you've just had surgery on, defending takedowns, sprawling, fucking putting all that fucking pressure on your legs as you're trying to fend this guy off of you. It's going to be a rough night for Robbie Lawler. I'm going to go for Ben Askren via unanimous decision, every round win, over 3 rounds, and I think the crowd's going to be booing. That's how I feel. I think the people have bought into the talk of Ben Askren, and I have as well, because he's very good at talking. You have to admit, he's got a good mouthpiece on him, and it kind of makes up for the fact that I think when some of these guys see him fight, they're going to be thoroughly disappointed. The hardcore MMA fans won't be disappointed. But the people who have bought the John Jones pay-per-view and are casual fans, oh, John Jones is fighting. Is he the only guy on the card? John Jones? Alright, I'll buy it. Buy the pay-per-view or watch the illegal stream, as you know, 100% of the MMA fans do. I think they're going to be thoroughly disappointed with Ben Askren's performance. He has a style of fighting where it's not entertaining. Even when he's pounding you on top, it's not damaging strikes. He's just tapping you on the head and you can't go anywhere. It's not like guys are getting concussed on the floor by him. He's either going to try and submit you in the fight, but if that risks losing his position, then he just won't go for it. He has a style of fighting which is so frustrating to watch, and also equally as frustrating to the person who he's doing it to. Robbie Lawler is going to be looking up at the clock at the end of each round. Fucking hell. Alright, I've got 10 seconds at the start of round 2 to try and land a punch. Oh, I've got taken down again. Oh, he's on top of me. What do I do? Alright, 4 minutes, 10 seconds until the start of round 3. I've got another 10-second window there. That's all we talk about. Robbie Lawler has to land a good punch in maybe the first 10 seconds of every round. Other than that, I feel like he's just going to get taken down. I really do. But we shall see. Is Ben Askren all hype? He hasn't fought an elite level UFC opponent with takedown defense. We're going to find out. Everyone seems to believe that he's going to beat Robbie Lawler. I believe it too. I think Robbie Lawler, if he loses this one, retire. No one wants to see that anymore. It's like BJ Penn fighting. It's like your granddad fucking trying to run a marathon and he's breaking his hips all over the place. Robbie Lawler, please retire. You have nothing left to prove if you lose this fight. That'll be a 2-fight skid for you. That'll be 3 out of your last 4 fights lost. Please retire if you lose this fight. I beg you. I don't want to see him fighting until he has fucking... Because let's face it, Robbie Lawler may have had brain damage before he started fighting. So, who can imagine what he's going to be like 10 years after he retires? There's no need to take that damage. I feel like if he gets out-wrestled by Ben Askren and just held down for fucking 15 minutes, he might have a thought in his head that's like, oh, well, I didn't take any damage, so I'll have one more. No. Because what Robbie Lawler is waiting for right now is someone like a Darren Till or a Jorge Masvidal or a Leon Edwards, I'm just chucking it, or a Santiago Ponzinibbio to come in there and just knock him out again. That's what he's waiting for. And I don't like that that's the style. I don't like that's the mindset that he's going for right now. I want him to lose this fight and I want him to retire and I want to hear him speaking normally in a few years' time. That's what I want. And I think whoever wins this fight, and whoever wins Darren Till versus Jorge Masvidal, those guys should fight next. And I think it's going to be Ben Askren versus Darren Till. Welterweight division is so fucking good right now. Usman versus Woodley this weekend. Who wins that one? I think it's Woodley. I've done a video on that. Then you've got Darren Till versus Jorge Masvidal this month as well. Leon Edwards versus Gunnar Nelson to decide the sort of outer bracket of the division. Then you've got Ben Askren versus Robbie Lawler coming up. They're bound to do RDA versus Santiago Ponzinibbio in UFC 237 Brazil. Am I wrong? Am I wrong? I guarantee you that's the next fight that's going to happen. I haven't heard any rumours. But if they don't do Santiago Ponzinibbio versus Rafael dos Anjos when they go back to Brazil, I don't know. Brazil versus Argentina. Can you, both South American countries, right next to each other, can you ask for a better fight? You've got the Brazilian fans coming there for RDA. You've got the Argentine fans coming over. If they can cross the border. I don't know how Brazil works. I'm guessing they can cross the border. Who knows? I mean, I'm hoping that they will cross the border illegally into Brazil. Legally, I'm just fucking everything up. Never mind. Video's over. Like and subscribe. Ben Askren's going to win. I guarantee you that. This is the most guaranteed I've ever been. But there is a chance. We've never seen Ben Askren hit hard in the fucking face before. And there's a chance that Robbie Lawler lands that punch and Ben Askren goes night-night. But it is a 1% chance. in my opinion. Ben Askren's going to dry hump him all night. Like and subscribe.